Controversial pen maker Majohn just dropped a new, affordable pocket pen. It's stylish, and while it's not perfect, there is a lot to like here. It's called the RS3 and it comes in this little tin box. At least that's how mine arrived. They're made of acrylic and come in a few different colors. Some of these look pretty familiar. The orange one, for example, looks a lot like a resin pen BBS made popular a few years ago. The clip is a bit more elaborate than your average pen clip. It's quite stiff, so I imagine it's mostly meant as a roll stopper. When you unscrew the cap, you'll find Majohn's regular number 6 size nib in fine or extra fine. They use threaded housings so you can easily unscrew them. In fact, it's the same housing as Fine and Narwhal use. The body is faceted, short and a bit sharp, but you won't usually grip it directly since the pen is meant to be posted. On one of my pens, the clip aligned perfectly with the nib when posted, but on the other one, it didn't. Instead, the clip dug right into my hand, which made it pretty uncomfortable to hold. The barrel threads are single start, so the cap always ends up in the same spot. There also seems to be just one way to screw the section onto the barrel and only one way to screw in the nib housing. The housing has this D-shaped ledge that aligns with the flat underside of the feed, so it doesn't look like you can rotate the nib and feed either. Eventually I managed to rotate the clip itself to get it to align, but it wasn't easy and the first impression just wasn't great. But that's the kind of compromise you sometimes get with mass-produced budget pens. Once the alignment is fixed, the pen feels pretty good in the hand. It's a decent writer too. Majohn's nibs are usually reliable even if they aren't the most exciting. Since they are standard number 6 nibs, you can swap them out. You can even fit Majohn's popular new flex nib, as long as you keep the RS3's feed and housing and just swap the nib itself. It's worth mentioning that the pen comes with a tiny converter. It doesn't hold much ink, but it works fine. In my experience, you don't usually get a converter with a pocket pen. You could potentially eyedropper fill it. There is an O-ring that seals the barrel well, but there are metal parts inside that might rust over time. It's up to you if you want to YOLO it. One minor annoyance is the rattling sound when you screw the cap onto the back of the barrel. Once it's fully posted, it doesn't move, but it still feels a bit cheap. Compare that to something like the copycat from Fine Writing International. That one is quiet and smooth when you post it. It's a small difference, but it makes the pen feel much more premium. As usual with Chinese pens, prices can vary a lot depending on when and where you buy them. I paid about $20 each for these on AliExpress, and I'll put some links in the description below. Majohn confuses me as a pen maker. Some fountain pen fans dismiss them as a cheap maker of copycats, and a lot of their models definitely fit that description. It's easy to see where they got the inspiration for pens like the P136 and the A1. But they also make more original designs. The T1 borrows some elements from Kaweco and Fine Writing International, but it's not a clone. The C4 might be inspired by vintage Japanese designs, but it combines that with original ideas. And as far as I know, this new RS3 isn't a copycat either. I just wish Majohn would focus on more original designs like these. It would make it much easier to recommend the brand. At the end of the day, the RS3 is a cheap and cheerful pocket pen. It's not perfect, but it's stylish, it writes well, and it's just excellent value. Whether you want to support Majohn given the track record is up to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this look at Majohn's latest pocket pen, please consider subscribing and giving the video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.